story, The Devil's Butcher. There are murderers whose names are written in police files, whose crimes are remembered in documentaries, whose victims are mourned in vigils. And then there are those who go further, killers whose cruelty is so profound, so devoid of humanity, that their names are never spoken aloud. Their legacy is silence, their reward something far darker than prison or the grave. The Devil's Butcher was one of those men. In life, he was nameless in the way that only drifters are nameless. No records, no family, no anchor. He drifted from town to town, carrying little more than a sack of tools, a knife wrapped in cloth, and eyes that burned too brightly in the dark. He left no friends behind, only questions and trails of ruin that never quite made sense until it was too late. His killings were not clean nor quick. He did not crave money or revenge. He craved the act itself. He carved the bodies of his victims into grotesque parodies of life, stretching their flesh as though trying to create something new from their ruin. Locals whispered that he believed he was shaping art, that his murders were attempts at building something divine from bone and blood. But divinity was not what he found. When the law caught him, it was not through cunning but accident. A single traffic stop, a routine inspection. In the trunk, they found what remained of his most recent victim, a body flayed open, ribs pried apart like the wings of a grotesque angel. He was dragged to prison in chains, his trial a spectacle, his conviction inevitable. But death by hanging was not the end of his story. It was only the beginning. Because when the rope snapped his neck, he did not find darkness. He found fire. Hell did not wait patiently for him. It surged, swallowing him whole before his body even cooled. One instant, the gallows creaked above him. The next, he was lying on black stone, the air thick with sulfur, the ground trembling as though alive. Hell did not resemble the fiery pits of Scripture. It was worse. A vast plain of smoldering flesh stretched in all directions, broken only by rivers of molten bone. The sky above churned with smoke and faces that writhed like oil, their mouths open in endless screams. The butcher staggered to his feet, but there was no weakness in him here. He felt strong, stronger than he ever had in life, as though the weight of his sins had burned away the limits of flesh. And then came the hooks. They tore from the ground like iron flowers, barbed and dripping. They pierced his back, his arms, his legs, dragging him down until his face pressed against the molten stone. Pain roared through him, but he did not scream. Instead, he laughed, the sound echoing across the plain. Here was a place that understood him. Here was a place that matched his hunger. The torment did not end. Demons with bodies of charred sinew and jaws of bone pulled him apart, stitch by stitch, unraveling his flesh until nothing remained but raw nerve and bone. They fed his body to the rivers and pulled it back from the currents again, over and over. Each time, his form grew less human. His ribs jutted like spines, his arms stretched into blades, his mouth split wider than it should, teeth multiplying like shards of glass. The butcher was not punished in hell. He was remade. It is said that hell does not waste cruelty. It takes the cruel and turns them into tools. And so the man who had butchered in life became a butcher in death, a demon forged from his own hunger. His hands became cleavers, dripping eternally with blood that was not his own. His eyes burned red, glowing with the light of every soul he had carved apart. His laughter became a howl that split the air, driving the damned to madness. He did not wander hell aimlessly. He hunted. Through its endless caverns and burning fields, he stalked the lost, tearing them apart with the same delight he once had in life. But there was a difference now. Each soul he carved did not die. They screamed, shattered, and were pulled back together, only to be butchered again, over and over, eternally. The other demons did not challenge him. They gave him space, for even among them, he was feared. His cruelty outmatched theirs, his hunger deeper, his madness more profound. He became a legend whispered in hell's depths, a name carried on screams, the Devil's Butcher. But legends do not remain contained. Some say he learned to slip through the cracks, to climb back toward the world he had left. Not fully, never fully. His body was bound to hell, his shape too monstrous to walk among men. But his shadow could. His hunger could. There are places where the veil is thin, where murder has soaked the ground so deeply that hell itself leaks through. In those places, travelers speak of a figure standing at the edge of the trees, cleavers hanging at his side, body half hidden in smoke. They hear the scrape of metal on stone, the wet sound of blades through flesh, though no wound marks them. They wake with bruises shaped like hooks, with dreams of fire and laughter that is not theirs. The Devil's Butcher does not kill quickly. He drags time out, savoring each moment as though replaying the art he once made in life. Victims are found flayed open, arranged like sculptures, their blood painted in patterns no one can understand. Some are never found at all. And when you stand too close to those places, you may hear it. The sound of chains dragging across stone, hooks sinking into flesh, laughter echoing from beneath the earth. You may feel the ground soften beneath your feet, as though it is not stone or soil, but living tissue, waiting to pull you down. Because the Devil's Butcher does not belong only to hell, he belongs wherever cruelty lives. He belongs wherever blood is spilled for pleasure. He belongs in every shadow cast by fire. And if you listen closely, you may hear him breathing just behind you, waiting for the moment you step into the dark.